Lydia Fight Connect TV, and I am backstage at MTK Global Fight Night in the Macron Stadium in Bolton with Natasha Jonas. Lovely to meet you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Why do we have you here tonight?
Just supporting me two stablemates, Paul Butler, Jose Burton, and yeah, it's just one down, one to go.
Yeah, obviously we just had Jose's win there. How is it always just like to see your teammate do well, to win?
Yeah, I'm probably more nervous for my teammates than I am for myself when I get in because you've got no control over it. So yeah, it's nice to sometimes just sit in the crowd and not be getting punched.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
Do you get to relax on a night like this? Obviously, you're being gracious. You're doing an interview with me now, and you had the guys there as well. Is it all work, or do you get to enjoy yourself?
No, I just enjoy myself, sit back and, you know, take in. And I think when you come to boxing shows, you always pick up on something to learn from it. And that's what I like to do. I'd like to sit and watch and shout.
It's been, in terms of, you know, this year with fighters and people getting to go out, and, you know, a lot of pro fighters haven't been lucky enough to get, you know, the opportunity to fight in the cards. You've been obviously very lucky. How was it for you to fight in something like a pandemic? Obviously, we've never experienced that before. So how was it for you?
I think coming from the amateur background that we did, you know, we used to go away to tournaments all the time where there was nobody there. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was on a weekday, and you might get an audience for the final. So because of that, I'm kind of used to it. But as a professional, obviously, it's never happened before, and it is a little bit weird. And I think the fights that I've been in deserve a crowd as well.
Yes.
So that was a bit. It's sad for the fans that they couldn't be there.
Yeah. It is very, like, now we're obviously kind of seeing that a few people are getting to come back, but I think as boxing fans watched, you know, things like Fight Camp, it was so new that it was like a different element. I think a lot of people enjoyed it as well. You know, that kind of way, it was different, but there was a lot of enjoyment there too.
Yeah, I think people were just happy that sports was back because everything had stopped, and I think for female boxing that was one of the catalysts of why, like, you know, we've excelled as a sport, because there was so much concentration on the sports that were coming back that we needed to perform. And every single female fight, you know, McCaskill, Brockhouse, myself, Taylor Pursoon, all these fighters, you know, Cameron, Savannah, they all performed, and with women's boxing, everybody wants to be undisputed, so everyone wants to fight everyone, and it means there's good viewings for the fans.
Absolutely. And this year in particular, Matchroom have really kind of stepped up, you know, their support, I would say, for women's boxing. And do you feel, you know, with all those names that you've mentioned, that, you know, the women are, not that they have something more to fight or they have to prove anything, but because now the stage for women's boxing is there, and because the fans are there and the eyes are on them, that it's like an extra incentive to bring the fight, I suppose.
To be honest, I think we always knew how good women's boxing was. We just needed the world to see it.
Yeah.
In the amateurs, it happens. In the Olympics, in the pros, it's happening now. And we just needed the platform, and we've got a good platform with well, the Zone now, but, you know, with Matchroom and Sky, and it's worked out well for all of us.
Absolutely. And we have to touch on, obviously, your fights this year, Terry Harper, Katie Taylor. We won't, the Katie Taylor, we love you. We love you. No. But listen, like, for me, 2 fights of the year, what is it like for you to look back, to have those wars, and to know that boxing fans, that women in boxing are looking at you and going, that's the benchmark?
As an athlete, I don't think you think about that until after the fact, or until, you know, you're sitting around somewhere and the conversation happens and you're like, oh, I'm proud of myself there. But, you know, as an athlete, you're just focused on the results, and the results I haven't won both times. You know, drew one time and lost by like a round the next time. So it just gives me motivation to just go and do and be better.
Absolutely. Talking about motivation, one of the most, I suppose, endearing qualities about Tasha Jonas, the professional fighter, and everything that's happened for you this year is the relationship with your daughter, and how she's involved in your social, and obviously the fights and the videos saying good luck mommy and different things. What is it like for you to know that you are kind of, you know, being an absolute inspiration for your daughter and leading the way and showing her that anything is possible, I suppose?
I think, you know, as a mum, as a female, as everything, it's important to inspire the next generation of females, and she's very lucky to have me as a mum and my sister in football, so she's looking at females in powerful positions in male-dominated sports, and she knows that hard work will get you all the success in the world, and that's more than anything, that's what you want. You want your child to be successful. You want them to know they can dream and they can achieve as long as they're willing to work hard at that, and that's the benchmark.
Absolutely. Has she shown any interest in either sport, boxing or football?
Sometimes when we're at the play areas and you have to get them little things that swing as you walk through, she'll shout, "Mummy, look!" and be punching it. But I think it's football for her at the moment, which I'm kind of glad about. She's not going to get punched, and it's a sport I enjoy. So I'm just glad that she likes something I like. So football it is at the minute, but we'll see, because I was a football player myself, and it led to other things. But I think as a mum, I just wanted to be active. I think it's really important. There's lots of things that sport instills in young children, more than just the ability to be able to play that sport itself.
And I think that's something that the boxing community as well, that they, it's so important within the community, and what it teaches children, not even if they go on to be professional athletes, just what it instills in them in terms of the discipline, the hard work ethic. It's so important that it's in every community, I think.
Yeah, I think if you ask an employee, what do you want from your employee, like what your perfect employee be, they'll say confident, they'll say reliable, on time, can take instruction, can work on their own, can work as part of a team. And if you think about all the successful boxers, they do all them things, and that's what I'm saying about there's a wider thing than just the skill of boxing itself. It's all the other things that it instills in you.
Amazing. Well, listen, I'll let you go enjoy. I know your teammate is nearly up soon. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to meet you. I'm so thrilled. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Natasha Jonas for Fight Connect TV.